Here we go for step 2. Is about making a commitment to slowing your mind. So step 2 is, I'm not going to say just have non thought, because that set me into contraction and I would go, I don't get it, that's really annoying. So I'm going to do my best to explain the benefits. And if I invite you to listen with your entire body to this video about quietening the mind. Because we don't always have to listen with our heads and our ears, and yes, especially if we're in a live situation with somebody else, we nod and try and look interested and like demonstrate that we're listening. But for this, I just mean really listen and open your awareness to your entire body for listening. So again, take a nice seating position with your spine up and your feet on the floor. And expand your awareness to your entire body, to your feet. To your head. And this on itself is another beautiful awareness technique, because most of the time, excuse me, we aren't aware of our toes and our feet unless we take our awareness and our thoughts to them. Like the hands or different body parts, we're always attached to our bodies, but we're so habitually attached to our bodies that we don't often expand the awareness to the fingertips. Until I just said that, and then you suddenly became aware of perhaps tingling in your fingertips. Then the tips of your toes. So it's just another mental log that you go, wow, oh yeah. If I take my awareness to something, it really pops out. It's such a big piece of the puzzle, the awareness. Where you take your awareness and where you take your focus will be your experience. Just let that land. What are you focusing on, or what is your experience of life, will be what you're focusing on. Do you tend to focus on pain and trauma? Do you tend to focus on getting it right? Where's your focus? That will be your experience. Because we've just realised if we take our focus to our fingertips, then we experience our fingertips. But without taking the focus there, they're just there. And we can focus on the entire body. Expanding the awareness to the entire body and taking it all in. Then notice what happens to your breath. Are you trying too hard, or are you holding your breath? And then just relax and breathe normally. And what I mean by listen with the entire body is heighten your awareness to all of you. So yeah, I am my feet, I'm my knees, I'm in my hips, my hands. I can listen with every part of me. We have innate intelligence in our bodies, in our centers. We call them nawis. It can be referred to as chakras. We have a mind of its own in each nawi, an intelligence system, a force, an intelligent force in each nawi, his own mind, and the heart center. We can get onto this more a little bit later, but certainly the heart center intelligence nawi picks things up before this brain. If you really heighten your awareness to the other brains, people say, "Oh, I just know it in my gut," you know. Then everyone calls that women's intuition. The mind in that nawi, just a knowing from deep down. We call it intuition. We try and explain it in words. And the heart center is the psychic sense, that you'll feel the contraction there before actually hearing a noise or before actually computing what's happened. This has picked it up really in the now moment, and the mind catches up to something that's happened in the past because it's trying to make sense of it and catch up. So your whole body is listening, and you get to expand your consciousness and expand your awareness to that, and appreciate that your body is absorbing every moment and every situation that you're in as well. People say, "Oh, I just feel that," or "I can sense this." Their body going, "Here you are, this is an energy vibration that we're picking up on." And your body listens to everything too. So in order to hear past the words, in order to not listen with this computer brain, mind, if you set the intention to listen with your body, listen with all of you, then you can hear past the words. But this computer mind loves stories. We as humans love stories and love metaphors. The subconscious mind, from a scientific technical perspective, learns in stories and metaphors. And consciously we delete, distort and generalize the information and the words that are going in. And the subconscious will learn in metaphors and stories and take it all in. So don't worry about trying to make sense of anything or figuring it out. You can just go, we're 5% conscious mind. That's a 95% subconscious. And then we've got an entire mind in our full body. And we as humans walk around thinking that we've got to figure it out with that menial 5%. And we've got another 95% and a whole another kettle of fish that's pure consciousness working for us. We go, oh, why on earth have I been trying to get to grips with that 5% and figure everything out? It doesn't have the capacity. So, expanding your awareness to your body. Taking some deep breaths. And making a commitment to yourself to slow down your mind. It starts with an intention. Every time I close my eyes, the light goes off on the computer. That's hilarious. It's like a code. Okay, shut down. I'm back with you. So making a commitment to yourself. A commitment and an intention is where it starts. And then you don't need to do anything. You don't need to stress over anything. You don't need to continue that busy mind. You just make a commitment to yourself to, instead of driving at a crazy 100 miles an hour down the mind highway, down the brain highway, down the thought highway, drive, perhaps just drop a gear into 60, 50. It doesn't have to be that much. Then once you slow it down to that speed, just imagine slowing the car again, dropping another gear, slowing down to 40. Perhaps you can imagine a needle, a barometer, even if you don't drive, just a needle with numbers on it. And the needle is slowly moving down. It's got to 50. And it's moving down. 49, 48, 47, 46, 45, 44, 43, 42, 41, 40. 39, 38, 37, 36, 35, 34, 33, 32, 31, 30. And go, yeah. I'd like a commitment to enjoy driving at 30. Because do you know what? I can see more clearly out the window. Things are slowed down. I can appreciate what I'm driving past. I can pick up some detail. I'm more aware of my surroundings. Because when I was driving at even 60 miles an hour, things were kind of blurry. Could catch some stuff. And then up at 70, it's like, yeah, I can get the big things and just about where I am. I'm driving at 100 miles an hour. You're like, no, I'm totally focused just on the road. I have no awareness either side of me because this is so fast that if I'm not 100% concentrated in this car and where I'm going, then it's a bit dangerous. So even if you've got a love of fast cars and a love of going fast through life, just go, well, I'm going to do something different. Because it might be a nice change just to experience driving at 30 for, let's say, the next couple of days, or maybe the next week. Just to see what's different. I know what driving fast is like, and sometimes that can be exhilarating. And you can always put your foot down if you like to. But just make a commitment just to say, I'm going to slow down so I can take in the view. So that I can notice things that I haven't noticed before. Because that is the key to awareness. Just slowing down enough. And I lived all my life from age 3. And then I learnt to drive at this house. It wasn't long before I was driving till I had to move out. But anyway, I would drive home and visit my parents a lot. This is my parents' house. And you drive up a hill to turn into their road. And one day it was because I had had a baby. So my driving was much slower because I had the baby in the car. So continuing on with my driving analogy and awareness, I was driving a lot slower because I had my little girl and my priorities had changed. That's what mattered. Used to be about, what am I doing next? Get there quickly, go, go, go. And suddenly my priority shifted and it was about the sacred life that I had birthed and the sacredness of my life as a mother, because this baby needed me to breastfeed it, to take care of it and to nurture it. So I needed to have a new appreciation of my life. So I needed to slow down the car and drive sensibly and take in the view and appreciate my body for birthing this being, the amazing things that it had done, and appreciate this life form that was breathing in the back and the miracle of life. And I had to slow down to appreciate the awe of what was, because it was so wonderful that it deserved time to appreciate and be with. And for the first time in my life, I wanted to slow down to experience that. It was a conscious choice. And because I'd slowed my driving, I was driving up this hill that I'd driven up hundreds and thousands of times, that turned into my parents' road, that I'd driven up and down all my life. And I noticed a path with some stairs leading up along the left into like some woods. And before it had just been a verge and some trees. And I would just drive past it. And on this particular day, I was driving slower. And I went, and I looked down. And it was, my mind was blown. Thought, that track and that road, that path up and stairs up there is ancient. That's always been there. And I have never noticed. I've even walked down that road, not noticed it was there. I think I've cycled rather than walked. So I was still going too fast to see it. And I couldn't believe it. All my life I've been driving up and down the same road and I had never seen this track because I had been going too fast. And it was life-changing. And it was emotional. And I was in awe of the complexity of life that when you slow down can be fully appreciated. So I invite you to want to slow down your thoughts. I'm not talking about a meditation practice. If you have one of those, great, keep going. I mean, when you wake up in the morning. I'm just going to slow my thoughts today. I'm going to drive at 30 and take in the world around me. And then if you forget, just go, oh yeah, I made that commitment. I'm driving at 30 today. Yeah, let's take in what's here for me. And I'm going to give you a cheat and a trick to end. This is for anyone really struggling with a busy mind and finding it really challenging and just going, there's just so much going on. How do I've made my commitment, but I'm still talking all the time, loads of stuff going on, and there's too much stuff going on in my life. Then my offering to you is a quick trick that you can do and you can practice. And all it is softening the eyesight to peripheral vision. Okay? And that's when, instead of focusing on a thing, looking at something, looking straight forward, you soften your gaze and take in as much as you can to each side. So it's like your eyes are pointing forward, but you're looking around. Peripheral vision. Soften your gaze right round. Look as far around as you can. And if you're doing that right now, you'll suddenly become aware that the chatter has stopped. And this little trick quietens the mind. It brings your thoughts right down. Soften your gaze, take in the space. You just find, oh, nice, I'm not thinking of anything. So that's a beautiful one. Maybe if you find, oh, I'm just, just think, okay, stop. You're going to take 30 seconds, just be in peripheral vision, and set maybe an alarm on your phone if you know you've got loads and loads of stuff going on, just to break the habitual pattern and bring you back down, so that you might be going, okay, I'm driving at 30 miles an hour, then I'm speeding up, then I'm driving at 30, then I'm speeding up, then I'm driving at 30, then I'm speeding up, then I'm driving at 30. That is better than 100 miles an hour the whole time. So just to bring yourself out of it, you can set an alarm on your phone. Set 3 alarms a day, or set 5 alarms a day, or put a post-it up in the bathroom, in the kitchen, in the toilet, in the car. And whenever you see a post-it note, just go, okay, that's my reminder just to do 30 seconds of peripheral vision. And just, the more you do it, the more it becomes a habitual state, and the more you get comfortable and confident with it. Okay. Much love. Upi chai.